What's up, world? It's your boy Terrell Miller, your astrologer teacher, and today I'm finna give y'all a quick analysis on what we can expect when Jupiter and Saturn transit the sign for Aquarius. Jupiter will be there for a whole year. Saturn stay there for 18 months. Depends on their retrograde phases also. But the first thing you need to know, what is the sign of Aquarius? Aquarius is the sign of science, energy, technology, lights, uh, lights, the sign of science also, the sign of groups, friends, organizations, and it's the highest of the trick house. That means the sign of hopes, dreams, and wishes. So a lot of people definitely is going to go towards their hopes, dreams, and wishes around that time. The planet Saturn represents karma, discipline, structure, minority people. So it's going to force us to put structure into groups, organizations. It's going to force us to put structure into the minority people also. And Saturn is in a good sign, so it's bringing good karma to everybody. You feel me? So everybody's gonna receive good karma wherever they have Aquarius, what house that in. You feel me? Like for Leos, is in their seventh house in marriage and business. So around that time, business could definitely take off. Saturn gives you directional strength when it's in the seventh house. You feel me? And Jupiter's bringing your spouse to you also. But for everybody, you'll see a shift in the human conscious. That means we have three different types of religion. People be trying to separate God. It's the three different types of spirituality to know God. You feel me? That means God wants you to go off the law religion, the land religion, which is Baptist, Christianity, man-made religion. That is also true. Also, God wants you to use your Pisces sense also, which is spirituality, intuition, your psychic ability, being able to know God without proving it, without seeing him, having faith. But the higher of knowledge and spirituality is science, to study the stars, because astrology shows you why this is like this. You feel me? So for people who's very questionable people, or people who just don't believe shit easy, then get into astrology. It'll break things down for you. You know what I'm saying? But for everybody, our conscience is going to go to a higher level. That means you're going to see people in the government starting to study outer space. They're going to go try to develop something new in outer space. If they're really aliens or extraterrestrials, this is going to be the year that we're going to experience that. This is going to be the year that we get in contact with outer beings besides ourselves also. Since Jupiter brings wealth and knowledge, and Aquarius represents technology, you're going to see a lot of people gaining wealth through technology, like people who got YouTube pages, people who got apps, people who got fans only, people who's on Instagram, Facebook, they're going to gain. But mainly, Jupiter gives us ways to think outside the box. That means money, currency is going to change. So people who's been investing in Bitcoins, this the year that they're going to receive their good fortune. People who's been investing in cryptocurrency, this is the year that they're going to receive their good fortune. You feel me? Because Jupiter's bringing the gains. It's in the highest of the trick house. I mean, everybody hopes, dreams, and wishes. You feel me? But Saturn is in there. Saturn represents the people. Saturn represents minority people. It wants to uplift minority people. That means it wants all us to do some type of social work. You feel me? That means taking care of somebody. If you're into business for yourself and your business ain't got nothing to do with providing a service to somebody else, you're not gonna prosper. If your career thrives on yourself, like athletes, like rappers, things like that, you're not gonna prosper unless you're doing something for the people. But you will see that people in higher authority, which is the government, presidents, they're gonna start uplifting minority people. Or it's gonna be a lot of separation and dividing in the world also, because Aquarius represents rebelliousness, represents groups, and it gives you the best prosperous good fortune when you have freedom to do what you want to do. So you're going to see a loss in jobs. A lot of people could lose jobs because it wants to bless them with their own freedom. I was born with Jupiter in Aquarius. You was born in 85, 97. We was born in this alignment. I mean, we really don't have to work. Somehow we still get the gains in. You feel me? But gains for us come through other people, through our network circle, through our siblings, through our friends also. So this is how everybody is going to have to gain around that time. So you're going to see a lot of people starting their OnlyFans page. A lot of people, for Democrats and Republicans, they're going to start separating. Christianity and conscious people, they're going to start separating. You feel me? Nation of Islam, everybody going to want to get to themselves. You feel me? But Aquarius represents social work. That means it's going to force us to come up with something inventive that can help out the masses of people. Just like how they came with the vaccine. This first round vaccine might not be what it is. But when Jupiter get into the middle of Aquarius and Shishta Bashat Nakshatra, that represents 1,000 physicians to the gods. That means they're going to find the right type of doctors, the right type of people who's making these vaccines to make it right. You feel me? So around that time, that's when you'll know that, okay, this vaccine is really working. Till then, they just experimenting on your ass. So you don't want to be the first one up. But if you got to be, go and take that vaccine. You feel me? But for everybody will start thinking outside of the box. Everybody will start thinking scientific. A lot of people will start getting into their zodiac signs. Even the people who was telling you that they ain't believe in it before, now they're going to start wanting to burn sage. Now they're going to want to start tracking the full moon, things like that. You feel me? So the whole conscious of human, we're going to shift into these scientific or inventive type people. You feel me? So you're going to see that the government go through big losses of wealth. You're going to see that it's going to be a lot of lesbian relationships, women that's dealing with women. And they ain't even just going to want a stud type woman. They're going to want, like, bad bitches going to want bad bitches. You feel me? So it's going to be a lot of lesbian relationships. And you're going to see that a lot of people is going to have a lack of sleep or tend to wake up in the middle of the night a lot this year, through this whole year. So a lot of people is going to toss and turn all night. You know what I'm saying? But when Saturn goes into the Aquarius, it's all about structure, it's all about discipline, it's all about karma. Now it's bringing you back your good fruits. What have you did for your friends? So if you stay loyal to your friends for years, you never crossed your friends, one of your friends could come up and now they put you on. You feel me? Because like I told you, Aquarius represents friends, Jupiter represents good luck. So our good luck is coming through our friends now. For some women, they're going to realize that their husband or the person that they supposed to be with is somebody that they was once friends with or somebody that they cool with. You feel me? Because Jupiter represents their husband. But Jupiter give us directional strength to give us intelligence. So you're going to see that electronics, technology is going to move at a faster pace. Science is going to move at a faster pace. Because now we're in the sign of Aquarius, the Aquarius age. Now we're moving at light speed ahead of time. Because Aquarius represents outer space. The galactic, the extraterrestrials. You feel me? So we can definitely have some encounter with UFOs. This is the time that the government could see aliens. You feel me? They could discover something new also. And it's going to bring massive amount of change in our finances. But because Jupiter represents wealth. And Aquarius is detaching us from that. So you're going to see a lot of scam artists, a lot of computer get hacked. The government going to get hacked. Banks is getting hacked. Because now the wealth is going towards minority people. You feel me? Scheming people. People who want to just gain through society. You feel me? So around this time, you're going to see that everybody gain through society. You're going to see that it could be a loss of jobs also. Because Jupiter in Aquarius blesses you with good fortune the more you have freedom to do what you want to do. And for some people, going to work is not having freedom to do what you want to do. Feel me? So for this year, even if you lose a job, don't worry about it. Somehow the gains is still going to come in. Like I said, people were born in 85, 97. I was born in 85. Whether I do none or not, somehow the gains still come in. You feel me? So we gain through society, but we have to pay a heavy karma to society. We owe society a lot. They're just like for people who sold drugs their whole life. You gained a lot through society. Like most Leos can sell drugs a lot because they have Saturn in their 7th house. Feel me? So you got a lot of gains through other people, a lot of free gains through society. Now it's telling you, hey, give some of those gains back. Learn how to develop some type of social work where you could become a service to other people also. So you're going to see that black people started to rise this year. A lot of people who've been working hard at something for years, good karma is going to come to them. You know what I'm saying? Aquarius is the 12th house from Capricorn is the 12th house from Aquarius. So it's the loss of Aquarius. That means the government can get divided. The government could lose massive amount of finances. Uh, I doubt if Donald Trump lead the White House. If he do stay in, he's still gonna have a job, or he's still gonna be enforcing some type of law from behind the scenes. You feel me? So for a lot of people, this definitely is gonna be a time where they want you to be untraditional, think outside the box, think about change. So it's gonna be rapid amount of change that's go on into the universe. There's gonna be rapid amount of change that's dealing with technology, dealing with our money, dealing with our currency also. It's gonna be karmic relationships with friends. So this year, it's definitely gonna be a lot of karma dealing with a certain friend in your life. Because K2 is transiting to Scorpio and Jupiter is going into Aquarius. So people have heavy karma to pay with their friends, things like that. So a person could go into business with their friends. Person could get rich with their friends. Person could marry their friend. Person could lose a friend. Friend could pass away. Things like that. So it's a lot of karma to deal with that. But the more we deal with groups, organizations, deal with social circles, dealing with technology also. If somebody come up with a new app, it'll take off right now. Instead of coming out with Facebook, come out with the Black Book. It'll take off right now. You feel me? Because people want to think outside the box. People want to do things in an untraditional way. That means if people get married next year, it's going to be in an untraditional way. They don't want the regular courthouse setting. You feel me? They want some just totally different outside of the norm. You know what I'm saying? So for a lot of us, that's how our resources is going to come. And when these two planets are conjuncted, it make a difference. Now, to get our good fortune, we have to work hard for it because Saturn is restricting Jupiter. You feel me? So a lot of these people, like people who was born in this alignment, they become like jailhouse preachers because Saturn gave them hard discipline. Anytime they try to take a shortcut to make money, Saturn, because Jupiter is the wealth. Now Saturn only wants you to get money through rigorous hard work, through dedicating yourself to something, to being responsible and being structured with yourself, being structured with your business and other people. So people who was born with this conjunction, you feel me? Naturally, these people know the scripture, they know the Vedas, they know the Qurans, they know the Bible like the back of their hand, but they're restricted from using it into a certain age in their life because Saturn is karma. You feel me? These people want to be gurus. They want to talk about astrology. They probably know astrology. You feel me? But Saturn is the planet of fear. Anytime they get on that public stage to be that preacher, they'll feel that fear. Like, but they got the knowledge. You feel me? But that's how it's gonna, this conjunction deal with us. Our good fortune is only gonna come through our hard work. It's only gonna come through being disciplined. It's only gonna come through putting structure in our life. It wants us to structure the way we use our money, structure our finances. So you're gonna see change in money. You're gonna see Bitcoins taking off, cryptocurrency taking off. You feel me? But for every sign, this transit will affect them differently. So for Aries people, Jupiter is going into your 11th house. Saturn is going into your 11th house. Saturn rules your 10th house of career, the 11th house of achievement. So people who are Aries moon or Aries ascendants, you're definitely going to get a lot of achievements at your job. Shows me that you're going to take your co-workers into friends. That means you're going to meet friends at your job, or you could be working with a sibling or working with somebody that you already know around that time. For y'all, this creates a light ton yoga. Ton yoga is a combination of planets that brings wealth. The Dharma Lord is going into the 9th house. That means God wants y'all to deal with friends, social groups, y'all social circle this year. So around this time, you see prosperous things that happen with your friends. Through friends you gain. Through your elder siblings you gain also. So this is a good time to go towards your hopes, dreams, and wishes because the 11th house is your hopes, dreams, and wishes. And Jupiter brings free gains all that year. So for Aries who don't have a job, guess what? Somehow you still going to gain. You feel me? You still gonna get the resources that come in, whether it's through the government, whether it's through gambling, speculative business, but you're gonna get those gains in. But you're gonna see through connecting with other people is how your hopes, dreams, and wishes is gonna come true. Maybe you're Aries, you wanted to be a rapper. You feel me? One of your friends got a record deal, they brought you along. That's how your hopes, dreams, and wishes came true. Also, the 11th house aspects your 7th house and your 3rd house. So it keeps you in a relationship all year. Whether it's a good relationship, whether it's a bad relationship, it's going to have you in it all year. So for Aries, get into your social network circle. That means find old friends who can help you gain. Also get into speculated business, which is gambling, playing the lottery, looking for inheritance, investing in your own self, or get into your creativity. So if you're Aries and you're creative, you have some type of talent, this the time to take off with it. Also, Aries is going to be fertile, so you could have children through this alignment also. Mainly for the men. For Taurus, is this phenomenal transit is going to happen in your 10th house. This is the highest of the career house. For Taurus, this creates a strong, powerful Raj Yoga. That means all Taurus is going to get kingly status in their career. All Taurus who've been paying good karma, who's been working on a certain gift, they've been working on a certain talent, but they never really seen the prosperity of it. This is going to be the year where you could find somebody who's in higher places who's going to help you gain. That means friends is also is going to want to come together with you to help your hope, dreams, and wishes come true. Let's say if you're a Taurus and you're a single and you got a show out of town, but you couldn't make it because you didn't have no ride. Now friends is going to come through. Come on, bro, you got to go. You got to go do it. You feel me? Your mama could give you the money to pursue your hopes, dreams, and wishes. But around that time, all Tauruses will see an elevation in their career. They'll be able to defeat their enemies through speaking, by getting their diplomacy, through their popularity also. So a lot of Taurus is going to rise in their popularity. Jupiter looks at their 6th house of enemies. You'll be able to defeat your enemies. It looks at your 4th house of dealing with the mother and mother's dwelling. So your mother go through a prosperous time. You can get property and real estate, and you become very popular in your local community around this time. And Jupiter looks at your 2nd house of money and income. So wealth come in, and it's in your author house. The author houses is you're going to have to work for your money this year. You feel me? You're going to have to perform your karma standing up. That's for all earth signs. If you are Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, you're going to have to work for your earnings. If you one of these ascendants, a moon sign, you're going to have to work for your earnings. That means perform your karma standing up. If you're a fire sign, it's going to send you into the houses of desires. You feel me? Like Aries, like Leos, like Sagittarius. Most of y'all Virgos, Sagittarius ascendants. Most of y'all Taurus, Leo ascendants. Most of y'all Capricorn, Aries ascendants. So take your ascendant sign, moon sign, rising sign, put it together. That's your yearly horoscope. But for all fire signs, the houses of desires is your relationship houses. Dealing with your siblings, local community, dealing with your spouse, dealing with your network circle of people who can help your dreams come true. So anytime Jupiter transits this area, it sends you the right people. You feel me? That means you meet the celebrity this year. You meet somebody who got enough money to invest in your business. You meet somebody who's able to elevate you to a higher status. You feel me? For all my Geminis, or for all air signs, Jupiter is going to be going into your Dharma houses. Dharma houses is dealing with your own self-development also. So around this time, you'll have to deal with children. Some of y'all might have to be single and take care of children. This is a good time to get your education, your higher education. This is a good time to gain through speculative business. That means investing in yourself, playing the lottery also, going off your own talent. You feel me? But for all Gemini, Jupiter is going to be in your 9th house. It rules your 10th and your 11th house, creating a very strong Raj Yoga, especially for Geminis who are already working. So if you're a Gemini and you working, a lot of Geminis got tremendous amount of ideas. Some of them don't work out, or sometimes y'all don't stay focused on that task long enough so it can develop. But this year, you're going to see that Jupiter is going to give you the focus. Also, Jupiter creating the Raj Yoga ruling your 10th house, so it can force you to travel for your work life. It can force you to get a higher degree for your work life. You're going to be very philosophical and spiritual at work. Not just spiritual like a church person, but philosophical on the job. You want to talk about politics. You want to talk about religion, things like that. Also, it's going to help you get into romance for that year. So romance can definitely take off. Relationships can definitely take off. That'll be a good time to deal with your children that year also. But the moment you travel, you find a good fortune. It give you intelligence on how to deal with your younger siblings, people in your local community, and it give you intelligence on how to deal with your transportation. You feel me? So this definitely is gonna be a busy year for all Aquarius. Through friends, you'll be able to travel, make more wealth, and get a high position out in your career and in society because Jupiter represents wealth. With Saturn in the ninth house, Saturn could restrict your friends a little bit because Saturn is aspecting your third house. So it could restricting friends rather through you working too much, you going out of town, or you just focusing on something else and they focusing on something else. But anytime Saturn is in the ninth house, it could send you out of town for long points of time to work. Because Saturn is a slow moving planet, but is in a good sign. Most of y'all Aquarius are Gemini ascendant, so know your rising sign. So if you're Aquarius, you can get an opportunity to go out of town for a long time to work, to perform your creative arts, or to perform your 9 to 5 job. For all cancers, Jupiter will be in your moksha house, which is your 8th house. So it's going to help you get shared income. Through your spouse, more wealth is going to come in. Through other people's resources, more wealth is going to come in. You can hit the lottery. You can get some type of inheritance around this time. Through dealing with obstacles and disputes in your daily routine, uh, Cancers and Cancers ascendants, Cancer moon sign, they're gonna go through a Virgos Raj yoga, dealing with their finances. So at first it can bring the money, then it can bring obstacles, then it can bring the money, then it can bring obstacles, then it can bring the money. But through obstacles in your life, you know that something good is finna happen. So the worst you going through it, you just know that, okay, these things is finna reverse in your favor. That is what they call a Vipreet Raj Yoga. Reversal of fortune through obstacles. You feel me? So, or through your enemies. You'll see that your enemies either go through financial problems or your enemies go to death around this time. Uh, and you have to watch for your health problems too. That's for some Aries too. But for Cancer, Jupiter is in your moksha houses. That means you're going to want to get into research. You're going to want to dive into hidden information also. This is a good time to get into occult knowledge, to start studying astrology, mysticism, Christianity, magic, whatever you want to get into. Also, it aspects your 4th house. That means it's going to protect your home. Whether you got money to pay your bills, somehow it's going to be protected. And it aspects your 12th house. It's going to give you a lot of bedroom sex this year. It's going to put you kind of behind the scenes, but for good reason. I mean, you're going to be making money behind the scene. Your relationship is going to be lovely and it's going to be blessed, but especially when y'all behind the scene, private with each other also. It's a good time. Well, this year is a good year for Cancers to go into business for themselves. When Saturn is in your 8th house, transiting in 2021, is going to block your ups and downs in life. So even if you get into accidents, close death situations, somehow you're going to make it out because Saturn blocks those things. That's the same thing for Aries. Aries, you get sick, you get in some type of accident, Saturn is going to block those things because it's going to make sure you make it out. It's the karka of the 8th house. It rules the 8th house. So for y'all, it's going to definitely put a lot of karma and structure dealing with your soulmate, dealing with your spouse's side of the family. So if you're in a new relationship, you'll see that a lot of their in-laws or their people is coming to you. And they're going to be your friend because Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius and Jupiter's there. So a lot of people is definitely going to gain through friends. For all Leos, Jupiter and Saturn is transiting your 7th house of business, spouse, relationships, marriage. So this is a good year for Leos or women to get married, to find a soulmate potential. This is a good time for Leos to go into business for themselves. Saturn in the 7th house gets directional strength, what they call Dick Baller. I mean, it aspects your 9th house, it aspects your ascendant, it aspects your 4th house, all stable houses. But it helps you gain in business. It gives you a gift where you can control the masses. Anytime you go into business with yourself, you'll see that things kind of flourish. Jupiter is your intelligence, so it's going to give you intelligence on how to deal with your relationships all that year and deal with yourself. But Leos have to be careful because the Saturn is going to be aspecting their sun sign. That means Saturn is karma, it's the judge. Sun sign is you, the police. So some Leos could come in contact with the police. For instance, like Tory Lane. Some Leos could have a lot of karma that they have to deal with dealing with their spouse. Anytime you betray anybody, you're going to receive that karma that fast, because Saturn rules your 6th house and your 7th house. That means when you mistreat the people you work with, you're going to have to pay that karma. When you mistreat your spouse, you're going to have to pay that karma. But Jupiter is there also. When Jupiter is there, it's ruling your 5th house. So it wants you to take your speculative business, your funds, and turn it to a business. Also, children is going to want to go towards your business. That means if you smart, you'll start priming them up to do what you do. You feel me? Because Leo is the sign of self-employment. But for all Leo, this is a good time to get married. It's a good time to start a business. It's going to protect your relationship all year, whether it's a good relationship or not. It's going to protect your transportation all year. So this is a good time to get you a vehicle. It's a good time to connect with your younger siblings also. It's going to put the right people around you to help you gain. Through your friends, you're going to gain. Through your younger sibling, you're going to gain. Through communicating and speech, you're going to gain. For all Virgos, Jupiter is going to be in your 6th house, dealing with your work life. So that year is going to bless your work life. So wherever you're working at, you're going to be able to elevate. Jupiter represents wealth. Your daily routine is going to be dealing with money. So a lot of Virgos is definitely going to be financially wealthy through 2021. You feel me? Because their daily routine is dealing with money, especially the ones who's in that type of field, like doing taxes for a living, or one who's already running their own business also. Also, for a lot of Virgos, you're going to have to perform your karma standing up. That means working, doing the Arthur houses, being a service to other people also. Your daily routine needs to be getting into creativity or dealing with your children or dealing with the person that you have children with. Your mother can go through a prosperous time also. Also, for some Virgos, they might have to move this year, change residence. Some Virgos are Sagittarius ascendant, so y'all going to be heavy into media. That means social media, Twitter, Instagram, things like that. So your father is going to go through a prosperous time, and you can get a chance to travel this year. So you're going to see that if your father is single, he's going to meet his soulmate this year. You also is going to get a chance to go to foreign places, to meet new people who's in foreign places. Your gurus and your teachers is going to go through a prosperous time too. But for all Virgos, your daily routine is going to be dealing with your spouse, dealing with your business partner, dealing with the masses of people also. Some Virgos going to have to watch their language. Through foul play, you can fall out with some people. But anytime Virgo starts some type of organization, start some type of business for themselves, start something that's dealing with social work for society, you're going to gain. But for Virgos, it wants y'all to help out people who's in conflict. Your intelligence is going to go towards how you move in the real world. The 6th house represents dealing with everyday life. That means your intelligence is being street smart. So for a lot of Virgos, you're going to have to be street smart. You're going to have to be street savvy. You're going to have to communicate for your finances. And it can put you on a high status as far as your career and your job. Also, this is a good time for Virgos to get a pet. If you get a pet or an animal, that pet or animal will bring luxury into your life. I mean, more money, more wealth, more success.